Alright guys, so you're welcome to my channel once again. This is Namens here. If this is the first time of visiting the channel, I will encourage you to subscribe to it and click on the all button that will pop up after you click subscribe, so you'll be notified whenever I upload other videos onto the channel. The channel deals with UAE stuff mainly, but sometimes I veer off and talk about other things. But today's video is going to be on the main purpose of the channel. We're going to talk about something about the UAE. Now, I appreciate the fact that the GH has become a bit difficult to live in, and so even though a lot of people have always tried to travel out, the urge to leave the country has become much higher. We have a lot of people contacting us on daily basis trying to leave, and so I try to let you know things you need to know and things you need to do so that you can go the right way, and then when you get there you don't find yourself wanting. So this is one of such videos. All right guys. What the things that you need to do before you even leave. All right, the things that you need to do even before you leave. Once you want to travel, you obviously have your passport. You obviously might have found a way to get your visa. If you are going by tourist visa, your 90 days, you might have found a way to get it. If you are going by employment, you might have found your way to get your employment visa. Even before you leave, these are the things that you need to do before you leave. Now, there are some medicals that you need to undertake. Medical examination that you need to undertake. Now, take note that they are so important. They are so important, such that if you close an eye to them and you leave and you happen to go there and you go through those medicals and you fail, you'll be deported. And then all that you might have spent, your money for visa, for tickets, and everything that you might have spent would have gone waste. If you had gone with a tourist visa, maybe you may not have found a job in your first month, maybe not in your second month, and maybe you find a job in your third month, and just when they want to legalize your stay and change your visa, they find out that maybe you have some of these medical conditions that we are going to be talking about, and you'll be deported. It's going to be a whole lot of waste of money that you wasted on your ticket and your visa and your bed space and your feeding and the transport you might have used going around looking for a job and all that. So it's ideal that you do these things. Don't cut corners and say, or don't think you are fine. You are only fine when medicine, or when the doctors, or when the examination comes out and it says so. Until that, you are not fine. So do this test. Now, first do the HIV/AIDS test. Find any reputable institution, clinic, hospital, polyclinic, any of them, and then get tested for HIV/AIDS. Some are scared to do this test, but it will be better to do them even before you start the process. So if you happen to test positive, you try and start getting treatment, and you don't even waste money to start any process of trying to travel to the UAE, because it will be, like I said earlier, it will be a complete waste if you go and you test positive for this. Now also try and do hepatitis B and C. Hepatitis B, hepatitis C. Do those ones as well. Same way, find any reputable institution, go there, tell them you want to come and do hepatitis B and C, they will do it for you. And the hepatitis has a vaccine, so if you do it and you test negative, you can also start the vaccine process, take the vaccine so that you'll be vaccinated against it for, I think, a period of 10 years or something like that. Now, another thing that you need to do is also TB, tuberculosis. You need to test whether you have traces of it in you. Maybe you don't have TB. Maybe you might have had it before and recovered. Or maybe you might not have had it at all, but you might have picked, I don't know, whether virus or bacteria or whatever that causes it. And there might be traces of it in you. So do that. Usually, I know it's done at Kolebu. You go to Kolebu and you ask that you want to come and do a TB test. You do the test, and then if it comes out negative, then you are fine to go. Now, there are a lot of other illnesses that if you contract, you could be deported. This one, influenza, for instance, is inclusive. There are a whole lot. But the main thing that they look out for is HIV, hepatitis B and C, and tuberculosis. Now, what I can say is that in most cases, when people have come to us and we have run them through these tests, what has prevented them from traveling mostly have been the hepatitis. So hepatitis has been on the rise. I don't know what it is, but it's been on the rise. So even if you watch this video and you don't even intend traveling, I would entreat you to go to any nearby clinic and get tested for hepatitis B and the C, and possibly get vaccinated against it, because it's been on the rise. So guys, when you've gotten, even before you get a passport and even before you start talking about trying to travel to the UAE, get tested for these, okay? Get tested for HIV, get tested for hepatitis B and C, and get tested for traces of tuberculosis as well. If you test negative for all of them, then you are good to go. But if you test positive for any of them, those that can be treated and be cured, you get treatment and you cure yourself of it, then you go ahead and go ahead and start your process and leave. Now for ladies also, you make sure that when you are leaving, you test for pregnancy as well. Make sure you are not pregnant before you are leaving, because if you're pregnant and you leave and it's on an unemployment visa, when you get there and the pregnancy shows, you're going to be brought back home. And sometimes you'll be tested for pregnancy here before you leave, and so when you test and then you test positive, you will not be allowed to travel. If you had gone in with a tourist visa and you get there and you get pregnant and you are found pregnant, it's illegal to be in the UAE and be pregnant without a husband. So you will have to find a way and come back home as fast as possible. Or if you are legally married and then you try and get your marriage certificate with you whilst you'll be there, if you intend to keep the pregnancy there, you'll be able to go to hospital, go to maternity, everything there, and give birth there, that's fine. But you need to get your marriage certificate with you to show that the pregnancy is not out of wedlock. All right, guys. So I'll end this video here. Catch me in the next one. God bless and bye-bye.